almost like a very, very, very karwa version of Jimbo Pani, and our host is like laughing because this is the first time ever somebody has said that it's Jimbo Pani, but I just can't get it out of my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to West Bengal. Oops, sorry, not this city side, but this side. The side that feels almost straight out of a fairy tale. I mean, just look at the views. The side which has more tea gardens and buildings and houses, more pine trees and the grass in your non-existent backyard, a chill life that will make you extremely jealous. Oh, and a place where you could do a little dance like this at the India-Nepal border. Almost feels illegal to be admitting this. But hey, you get to do it all the while staying at the coziest homestay run by super friendly locals who will make you feel like you've found a second home. That's a host. Super nice person. So come along as I take you on a journey through this beautiful lake town called Mirik in the Darjeeling district of North Bengal. So we set out of our stay at Rangbul at 10 o'clock. Okay, for context, you need to go watch the last 3 vlogs in this series where I showed you not only all the tourist spots that we visited in Darjeeling, but also shared all the details of this very, very Pinteresty homestay that we stayed at. It took us almost 35 minutes, I think, to get a shared taxi for Bhoom/Darjeeling. Decided we'll go all the way up till Darjeeling because there was no way we would have gotten anything at home because I don't know, there was just so much of traffic and none of the cars were willing to stop in the middle of the road. So there was that. So we reached Darjeeling at 12:35, 12:40. Yeah, around that. Got a new car for Mirik. I think it left around 12:45, 12:50 and it took us till 3:55. When did we leave? 3:50? How? What is the time? Yeah, so it was almost 3 hours from Darjeeling to Mirik. So we're gonna go out and have some lunch now because we're starving. So we came to this restaurant called Jagdish. Okay, Jagjeet restaurant. I think it was like 2 minutes walk from our stay and it started pouring like crazy. So we just came in here. It looked nice. It's a proper family restaurant.
Jagjeet is an out and out family restaurant. You would not find a single Pahari or Nepali items on the menu except, let's say, thupka or momos. No experimental dishes, just full on butter naan, butter chicken vibes.
The menu is very lengthy.
It's a very extensive menu with Chinese and Indian options, but it's a proper multi-cuisine restaurant that you would expect on the plains.
I would highly recommend this place if you're looking for some good old North Indian because the dal makhani and the butter chicken we had here were truly some of the best that I've ever tasted. On Google Maps, you'll actually find them as a hotel. This is their restaurant on the ground floor, which is also accessible to visitors. We were so hungry and then we liked the food so much, we ended up ordering a lot, like a lot. And then I always say, there's always room for dessert. So here's some gulab jamun that we ordered at the end, even though we were damn full. So we're staying at this beautiful family-run homestay in Mirik, and I'll show you one of the rooms. Ours is that one, but it's very untidy right now. I'm not gonna show you that, but there's this one. It's a sort of flat share, so it's like a very close-knit space sort of thing. You can just meet with your fellow travelers and enjoy a lovely time with the family. The host family is so nice, so nice. It just feels very homely, you know. So this is one of their rooms. This one has like a capacity of 4 people, 2 double beds. Then there's dustbin is over there, very neatly done, very beautiful paintings and wall hangings. And then here, right here, you have the balcony, and this is the view from the balcony. I think I could literally sit on the balcony the whole day looking at the view of those pine trees and the hills. It'll make you feel like you found your own little cozy mountain home, you know. There is a cute little cat. I forgot the name. There have two cats, I think, and there was one dog. So sweet. So I mentioned to you that this is a flat share sort of a setup. So I'll show you the washroom as well. The washroom for this part is shared. There are two washrooms. There's a common room sort of thing here. I'll show you that as well. Let me show you the washroom first. Okay, so this is the washroom number 1, and this one's actually an Indian one. 10 on 10 for the cleanliness though. And then right next to it is the washroom number 2. This one's of course the western one. Plus there's geyser as well. There's a very beautifully done common room sort of setup. Oh, okay. They actually have the kitchen section as well. So if you want to have something of your own to cook or something, then you can definitely use this one. Yeah, sorry about the lights. I forgot about them. This is the kitchen. This is for guest use. They've kept it for guest use, so you can just cook something up if you want. Although they do provide you food upstairs, and I would highly recommend that you ask them to prepare their meals because they are very homely, super nice, and just amazing. And honestly, this made me realize that the stay has been so aptly named Humro Ghar because the dinner table truly feels like a family gathering where you're having home cooked meals all the while bonding with the hosts as well as with fellow travelers. A very good morning from the beautiful hills of Mirik. Actually, we are very close to Nepal. That mountain behind me is part of Nepal. We are obviously now in Mirik. This tea garden is called Thorbu Tea Garden. And our host was telling us that if we go down from here, there's a river which is basically the border between India and Nepal. After this, we pretty much went on quite the adventurous hike through these lush green tea gardens and some forested areas to reach that said India-Nepal border. No permits whatsoever. Going down all the way these tea gardens, we're on a small hike. We're sitting by the side of the river. On the Nepal side, there's a very dicey, rickety bridge of bamboo that we crossed. We were the only tourists over there, and trust me, you won't find this place on any tourist itinerary because only the locals know about this place. And if you want to know too, then please subscribe to my channel because I'll release a detailed vlog next week on this. Oh, and can we please take a moment for this mystical looking mist? Of course, all of that calorie loss while hiking had to be made up for with a feast that was just readily waiting for us back at our homestay. And I don't know about you, but we got to try out a new dish called corn grits rice. This is makai rice. Then there's ghee, curd. So we have to mix it and have it.
So this is makai rice. It's corn and rice with ghee and a little bit of salt. She has put ghee in it.
The local variant is that you put ghee and the dahi together and you have it, especially after a long day of the paper. And since we've done a lot of hiking today, so that's why we're gonna have this.
Personally, I had no idea that you could mix corn with rice like this and have something really delicious. I am not even kidding. This was yum. And the fact that we got to have it while sitting with the host family at the same table was so wholesome. I promise you, kitne bhi sare luxury stays book kar lo, ye homestay wali feeling just hits different. that is the Mirik Lake. Wait, you can see the lake over there, right? And it's such a beautiful place with all the pine trees behind it. And over there's a bridge across the lake. Pro tip, I would recommend crossing that bridge and taking a walk along the other side. It's almost 6 o'clock right now, and I happily fell asleep in the afternoon after we had a very, very hearty lunch with our hosts. Could not go anywhere in the afternoon. Therefore, I decided that now would be a good time to go to the monastery. There's a monastery, Mirik Monastery, Bokar, something. I don't think I'm gonna try to pronounce the name because it's very difficult. I'll just write it out below. So that's where I'm headed, and it's like 10 minutes from our stay. It's just a 10 minutes walk, but the catch here is that the entire walk is actually uphill. So I'm just inside the monastery complex. That's the monastery behind me, and I think there was a light issue. That is why they had shut it at 6 today. But then one of the monks, they opened it. So he was like, you can go inside and take a few pictures if you like. And I just spent 5 minutes, and it was just so quiet, so peaceful. I've always felt this way about monasteries because there's just so much peace, you know. It was just 5 minutes of pure bliss. Like no sounds, nothing. I was literally the only person inside the monastery at one point of time. And then I think after 5 minutes or so, another tourist family came in, and that was it. It was just so calming. The monastery here is kind of relatively new. I think it was built around 1980s or something. So there isn't much history to it as such. But the entire complex is very beautiful, very quiet. The architecture is also very pretty. And because it sits on top of the hill, it's a really nice viewpoint as well. It'll be a really nice place to just come and meditate, you know. And then right outside the monastery, there's this cute little cafe which you can also check out. I was just coming back from the monastery and I'm at the property, and they've lit up these lamps. So pretty, so beautiful. Love it. Everything about this place screams warmth and homeliness, honestly. People, the place, the entire atmosphere is just... It left a mark on my heart, I would say. Dinner since once again that night looked something like this, with lots of fun and laughter and shared stories, and some cool new experiences as well. So we're gonna try a local millet beer, which is called Tongba. It's the first time we're trying this. It's still hot. Are we supposed to have it hot?
A little.
A little. So
It's a warm drink, no? It keeps your body warm when
Yeah.
it's cold.
So let's try it. No idea how it tastes. By the way, this is a traditional drink in several parts of Nepal, Darjeeling, and Sikkim.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's actually good.
He's like, it's homeopathy medicine. What about you?
It's normal.
He's like, normal, what
It's,
normal?
it's like more good than alcohol. It's very difficult to drink alcohol, no? This is good.
My reaction is that
Hostel world.
Hostel, no?
it's almost like a very, very, very karwa version of Nimbu Pani, and our host is like laughing because this is the first time ever somebody has said that it's Nimbu Pani, but I just can't get it out of my head. And there's a slight sour taste, which almost feels like Nimbu Pani, but it is like karwa version of it. I feel like that's the easiest way I can describe it.
A very good morning. with a bright sun pouring down on us. We are standing right next to the Mirik Lake, which is the main highlight of this small town near Darjeeling. Most people would come here for day trips. There's an option of boating, but since it's just 9 o'clock right now, so the boating hasn't started yet. It starts, I think, around 9:30ish, and that's when all the day trippers would come pouring in. There's one taxi stand over there, I think somewhere 500 meters or so, and that just gets filled with all the day tripper taxis. So basically we decided that we'll come a little early so that we can get all the serene vibes of the lake. We're gonna take a walk around the place. There are beautiful pine trees on that side, and it's basically a forested area. Very, very, very beautiful. And let's just go around the lake for now. We're just sitting on the other end from where we came. The lake is actually like only 3 minutes walk, not even 3 minutes walk from our stay. But this is the other side where the boating counters are present over there. But the view is very, very beautiful, and we're just sitting for a while, not relaxing because the sun is quite harsh today for some reason. But yeah, it's a very beautiful place. There's this bridge right over the lake which overlooks both the paths, and this is how the view is. Look. Because it's too early in the day, that's why we're still able to take videos on the bridge. Otherwise, it gets super crowded. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that over there is the monastery where I went yesterday evening. You see the monastery? It's like the highest point pretty much in Mirik. I remember 5 years ago when I came to Mirik with a bunch of my college friends, I had taken a walk around the lake on this side while my other friends had gone out for boating. So, unpopular opinion, I actually like revisiting tourist places and seeing the place through a brand new lens while also reminiscing past memories.
So when I had come to Mirik in 2019, this part was not, paved or anything. It was just a natural trail where very few people came. I was with 2 of my friends, and it actually felt like a mini adventure coming to the site. But now that side is also paved, this side has also been paved. People are coming here, people are smoking, throwing trash. I think that Mirik is caught between the dichotomy of either being popular or preserving its natural beauty. I do not think that Mirik can do both.
As I was saying, it's quite interesting to see a place evolve when you revisit it. Maybe not everything you saw the first time is going to remain the same. And maybe that is the point. I guess you have to revisit a place to understand what I'm trying to say. One thing that you will notice if you come to North Bengal, like be it any place, Darjeeling, Mirik, or even the Kalimpong side, is that they have lots of plaza. That's a host cleaning the space up. Super nice person. Yeah, so all of these houses have such beautiful potted plants with very colorful, bright flowers that is going to lift up your mood instantly. So I showed you the flat share section of the property, right? That is the budget part of it. Now, if you want a little bit more luxury, if you want a private suite kind of a setup, then they have this studio room which you can also book. So let me give you a tour of this. So once you enter, there's one bed here, a double bed. So this one gives off a little bit of a cottage feel, with those wooden designs. And there's a sofa / if you have kids coming with you, then this will be a great option. And this is the view that you'll get outside, all the mountains over there. Then this is the second room they have. It's very cozy, very private kind of space, very comfortable. And of course, there's the cupboards where you can keep your bags. And here you have the kitchen space. So it's completely yours, it's a private one. The flat share section also has a kitchen space I showed you, but there's obviously going to be shared among travelers. This one is for you. And then here is the washroom. Very clean, very neat. There's option of forest walks and lots of options, basically. You can just tell the host and they'll help arrange for it. Even if it's raining outside, they have a couple of indoor activities as well, so you can choose those. And this is the outside section. Here, this is where you're going to be coming in from, and there's the balcony. This balcony would open up to the outside view. You can see the mountains over there, and here as well. These are the closer ones. These are quite close, and that section is the flat share section where we are staying. This is the private studio part. So beautiful, right? The thing that I like about this space is that because of the entrance area, there's lots of greenery on that side, so it's like a garden space, as well as because of the mountain views outside. So it's like a combination of garden plus mountain view room. You know, best of both worlds. I just got to the terrace section and oh my god, it's filled with more and more colorful flowers. So beautiful. Like, look at all of this. Terrace Goals 101. Let me show you the view. Look at that. So gorgeous. That's the lake. You can see there was a bridge where we were on the top. There are some mountains in the distance. Most of it is covered in clouds at this point. It's a little hazy with the clouds. And that is the road that goes up to the monastery. I think I can show you the monastery as well. Wait. I think that small part, that is the part of the monastery. Yeah. I've been here for 2 days and I just came up to the rooftop right now. I'm starting to wonder, why is it that I haven't been on the rooftop before? That's what our host was telling us, that you should have gone to the rooftop. It's so nice. And yes, it is. I mean, look at the view behind me. That side is just entirely pine forest covered section. Obviously, there's the lake where we were just going around in the morning. And then the side also, lots and lots of pine trees. This being our last day in Mirik, we decided to soak up all the cozy vibes that the homestay had to offer for one last time before we head back to the Kissy city life. Oh, and do you want to see something really cool? Look at this handmade crochet coasters. You can actually also sit down with the host and learn crocheting because they do offer it as an activity. We're just having some tea with bread because we ended up missing breakfast because we went out for a walk around the lake. But we're sitting in the living room area. This is actually the house section, the host's house. And this part is just so beautiful. It's like so nice, this house. We've been coming here because there's a dining room over there. And that's where we've been having all our meals. But this just feels so nice. After this, we pretty much set out to head back to Siliguri in this shared cab. It took us only 200 rupees per person, and these were the views. So with this, we are coming to the end of our trip, and I have boarded a bus from Siliguri, from Junction bus stand till Esplanade, Kolkata. We booked a Loknath bus service for how much was it? 1600-ish, almost. And we booked sleeper berths, upper berths. Everything that is new, I've never experienced in a bus, I'll tell you. There's a reading light and there's a separate berth light, okay? And they have 2 different types of charging ports here. You can see. Obviously, you can keep your phones here. And this is so comfortable. They've given pillows. The pillows are like, wow. And then there's blanket and there's white brand new sheets. The first thing that he said when we got up at the bus was that we are dirtier than this white sheet because this is like absolutely new. And then there's the case where you can keep your bags and stuff, so that's there as well. They also gave us food packets.
That too branded.
Loknath bus service, and we have here
Snackies.
there's one cream roll,
And one paper boat.
and obviously they have chemist water as well. Oh, and it gets better. They gave us stuff for entertainment as well. So they gave us free Wi-Fi on the bus, and we're figuring out what they have to offer. Anyways, so yeah, with this we come to the end of our trip. I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. Please do subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in another video next week.